Hi, I'm Eric Scouten. I'm the head bartender and bar manager here at Port City Royal. I've been bartending for over 14 years. It's my belief that quality ingredients and technique go a long way to making the perfect cocktail. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make some quality cocktails using a quality vodka. Snowfox. It's Friday, time for another Snowfox cocktail, and this week we're going to do Canada's national beverage and a fan favorite of most Canadians, the Ceasar. Now, I believe that the fun thing about the Ceasar is the fact that it really blurs the lines between food and drink, and I like to see how far I can push that. So we're going to be doing something a little more extensive than we've done with our other cocktails, and see if we can push that limit. So first things first, we're going to take a lime wedge. I'm going to put a small slit in it. I'm going to run it around the rim of my glass. Now, you can do this in any glass. I really enjoy doing it in beer mugs myself, but we're going to use this footed beer glass. So now we've got some lime juice on the rim of this glass. Now, the classic rim for the Ceasar is celery salt. There's nothing wrong with doing that. I encourage you to experiment with it. Some dried herbs, your favorite steak spice. You can use any kind of salt. I mean, the American counterpart to this is called the Bloody Mary, and they strictly use a salt rim on it. What I've done is I've actually cured some hops, lovage, and cucumber in salt, and then I've ground that up into a bit of a powder. So that's what I'm going to be using on my rim today. Again, be careful not to push the glass too hard into your rim. What's going to happen is it's just going to soak up the liquid on the rim of your glass, clump up, and then fall back off instead of giving you this nice thick rim that we have here. So I'm giving it a few seconds to dry, give it a light tap to knock off the loose stuff, and I'm just going to set this aside for now. It's very important when you're dealing with any tomato juice or tomato-based product in a cocktail not to shake it too hard. It'll aerate it, it makes it really frothy, which sounds really nice, and in certain cocktails, frothiness is a huge bonus, but for the Ceasar, it's not really desirable. And most bartenders will build the Ceasar directly into the glass, and there's nothing wrong with that, but because we're doing something a little more process intensive, we're going to kind of do it a little differently. So I'm going to start off with my shaker. I'm going to take, this is just a cocktail sauce. You can pick it up at the grocery store on your way home tonight. And a bar spoon, which is roughly the size of a teaspoon. And I'm going to put a dollop of cocktail sauce into my shaker. Next up, we've got some Worcestershire sauce, or Worcester, or whatever you want to call it. This is Lee Perrin's, the classic really for making a Ceasar. And we're going to put a couple of dashes in. Now, I like mine to be really muddy, meaning a lot of Worcester. So I'm really going to get in there and give it a good one. Most bars are going to do about 2, maybe 3 dashes. I did about 5, maybe even 6 there. So again, my preference, so that's how I'm making it. Next up is your hot sauce. The classic goes with Tabasco sauce, and there's nothing wrong with that. Tabasco is delicious. I really like it myself, but we're here at Port City Royal, and we do things a little differently. So this is our strawberry hot sauce, something I really love. We serve it with our oysters, and I'm gonna put a good serving in there. I like my Ceasars to be fairly spicy. Again, the classic's usually about 2 dashes, but if you like it spicy, add more. Now, I've got some rosemary and thyme with chilied garlic, pickled carrots. That's a mouthful. I really love to add a little bit of pickle brine. You can use dill pickle, which my girlfriend absolutely loves. You can use, honestly, any pickle brine you want, but the key is not to add too much. If you add too much, it's just gonna taste like pickle brine instead of adding a level of complexity to the cocktail, and that's what we're going for. We're just gonna make it a little more flavorful. We want people to be guessing at what was in it and not being able to say, ah, yeah, you definitely put pickle brine in there. Just a little hint. So now I've got all my ingredients in here that I want, with the exception of some acidity. So that lime that we used earlier to rim the glass, we're gonna squeeze that lime into the shaker and continue mixing. The mixing's just to make sure that all those ingredients are incorporated together. Once that's done, we're gonna take our glass and we're gonna put a small scoop of ice into it. Careful not to knock too much of the rim off. So again, small scoop. You don't wanna add too much ice right away. We can add more ice after. And we're gonna pour what we've got in there into the glass. Now, I like my Caesars to be well balanced. And obviously we want to use up some of the Snowfox Vodka. We definitely want to have a good time. But at the same time, it's important not to go too crazy. Again, unless it's your preference. If you want it to be really boozy, go ahead, use 2 ounces. I'm going to be using 1.5 ounces. You can even go with 3. Don't tell anybody I said that. So again, I'm using 1.5 ounces and I'm pouring that over top of the ingredients I've already added in. Now, the classic Clamato juice. This is Mott's Clamato. Always give your Clamato a good shake before you use it. You don't want to aerate it again too much. You don't want to shake it up and get it all bubbly, but you do want to make sure that it's mixed together and that there's no sediment accumulating at the bottom. So, I'm gonna add Clamato juice. Now, as I said, I honestly feel that this blurs the line between food and beverage. So when you're entertaining your friends at home, what a better, there's no better way, in my opinion, to offer them a little bit of a snack, especially if you like seafood, accompanied with a Caesar. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a small plate and we're gonna put our glass on it first. I'm gonna disappear for a second. We've got a cocktail napkin. This is to make sure that your glass doesn't slide around too much, but I also don't want to get a bunch of small pieces of paper stuck onto my seafood that I'm going to be adding to this. So I'm going to fold it into a nice little triangle. I'm going to set it in the center of my glass, and I'm going to lay the Caesar over top. This is so it doesn't slide around on the glass. Next up, we've got a plate of seafood here. So, some rosemary. Making sure that it's nice and pretty. I've got a couple of dried up little pieces on there, so I'm gonna get rid of that. And I'm gonna put it into my Caesar. Now, I've got a skewer over here. So the skewer, we're gonna punch through this nice pickled carrot. I'm gonna add, this is a cooked shrimp. I'm gonna add a tomato to this. And one more shrimp, just for the hell of it. So now that I've got a nice little skewer, I'm gonna put it into my drink, like this. We still have a couple pieces of seafood left, so we've got some smoked salmon over here, which we're gonna put at the base. On the side where there is no cocktail napkin, again, we don't want it sticking. Add a nice little lobster claw there to the side. And here you have Snowfox's Seafood Caesar. Cheers.